I'm trying to think of a good first story because I know you told it on my little show, but since this is yours one, we might need to repeat one.
Yeah, most likely.
I think a good primer would be the man that I am fully convinced is an alien.
Oh yes, please, please. God, I have to retell the story now. Okay, cool. So I'll give you the door. I'll give you the door. Well, not the door, but the. Go ahead. Tell us about the person who was an alien, because by God, I also think I have to retell the story of my alien. Because
no, I was referring to your story. I don't have anything as bizarre as this night that you experienced.
Okay, cool. In that case, amazing. Okay. So I believe it was around 2019. If I remember correctly. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've told these stories, so my memory is a little bit jumbled up. But in walks this man on a late 2019 night, and he looks like David Byrne, wearing this oversized suit. You know the one?
Yes.
He comes in, walks in like this, very obviously wearing a suit that was made for a man twice his size, while looking like a human skeleton with skin just kind of draped over him. He comes in, sits down next to his colleague who is drinking like just a beer, if I remember correctly. They start chatting and also start asking for more extravagant and expensive cocktails. And I just keep eyeing them, because the more I look at this man, the more it just appears to be as if Sans stole somebody's skin and was just kind of making sure that his skin was staying on. He kept rubbing his arms, like kept patting himself down, just making sure that everything was sitting correctly.
He's making sure his human disguise is still on, fit.
Yes, exactly. Like, oh shit, is everything there? Shit, my hips. Oh god, okay, thank fuck, my hips are staying there. Okay, cool. So, after like 2 hours of that, they finally say, okay, we're leaving. I go, okay, who's going to pay for this? And the skeleton man grabs into his suit, which takes him like a solid 5 minutes because there is more suit than man. And he pulls out his credit card. I look at it, just making sure, because we had to look at credit cards. We had to make sure that like it isn't like a fake one, because apparently like fraud was happening back then. I don't remember the full details. I just remember we were drilled to look at credit cards like crazy. So I look at it, and I see this name, and I'm like 5 seconds away from telling this man to fuck off and give me his real credit card, because his name is Chadwarden Dinkelstein. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. This isn't a real name. You can't.
I like how you, the Jewish person here, looked at the most Jewish name in existence.
Oh god, you're cutting out, buddy. But I'm sorry, but that combination of words is not real. That's literally somebody trying to fake being Jewish. That's somebody trying to fake being Jewish to a Jewish person. I'm sorry, but I ain't gonna buy this shit. But I'm like, okay, this is just like a crazy American person again. This is like a rich person. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm going to put this into the credit card reader, and I'm just going to try and enjoy my day, because I am so tired, man. I am so done with this shit. I don't want to work here anymore. So I get the credit card reader, and the funny thing about our credit card reader is that it's extremely shite. It wasn't working very well. It needed to be slapped constantly. It froze up if a credit if like a credit card had too much money on it. It just it it was shitty. It was the cream de la crop of assness. So I put the credit card into the credit card reader, and it just completely locked up. Just froze completely. Which meant that this man packed serious dosh. Like an incredibly insane amount of cash. So I sweat bullets now, because now I have to deal with this customer who is starting to get very impatient as my credit card reader is freezing up from him being too much of a highballer for this place.
I still question the mechanics behind that. It just his bank account is too powerful for your machines. I don't understand how this happens.
I didn't get it either. I just remember our IT team one day was like, oh yeah, our credit card reader is shit, we replaced it with something better. It froze up when something was like, a bank account had too much money in it. And I'm like, that's not how it's supposed to work. That's like not how it's supposed to work at all. How did this happen? So I slap it like multiple times, and thankfully, as all things with technology, giving it a good slap works. So it goes through. He gives me like $20 tip, which was converted like 15 euros, if I remember correctly. And I tried to go about my day, kind of just forgetting about this very fake person. So I go about my day, just kind of not doing anything because it's a slow day, like 10 people tops. It's boring.
The worst kind of days, I know those.
Honestly, I preferred those types of days because of just how mismatched our place was. Because then I could actually just chill, look at my phone, kind of forget that I even worked there, just dissociate as this dysphoria took hold of me. And then it's dinner time. It's like 7 p.m. And my colleague is there now. I'm kind of having a blast now that I talk to a human being, kind of distracting myself from everything, actually doing shit. I should have written down those funny numbers on that card, but sadly, that is not how I stole money from that place. I stole money in way different ways, which I will not reveal here because I don't want to get in legal trouble. Rest assured, I took some shit from that place. But yeah, I really just bored see Chadwarden appear. And he's just like looking visibly annoyed, has an iPad in one of his hands, has the newspaper tucked into his elbow in the other. Just very much not really paying attention to any human being at all.
I mean, it's hard for an alien to pay attention to humans.
Yes, I suppose it is. So he sits down at and I do mean like just a corner. It's the shittiest place at our little restaurant. It was literally just like this corner. They placed a table and a seat. Not even like 2 seats, just one. So I am not going to reveal how I stole money from my workplace chat. I am sorry. Well, okay, maybe I will if you ask me nicely enough. Like later. But right now, we're talking about this fucking alien man. So, this alien man sits down at just the most hidden away corner and just snips his fingers and just calls for water. I bring him water, and then he's just like nods and says, "Do not talk to me tonight at all." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I leave him to be, but I'm still bored because nothing's happening. We have one person there. He just got a big bottle of water, and I'm bored out of my fucking mind. I don't know what to do. I did everything around. I'm basically just waiting for my shift to end in 2 hours. So I do what I usually do when I'm bored. And I just watch as this person just goes around at our dinner buffet. Because usually, if we have like 2 little people, we would have a 3-course menu. But because it was all just these rich, I think it was Mercedes or some other car brand, they just asked for a buffet dinner, which was like, sure, if you want the objectively shittier dinner, have at thee. It's cheaper for us. We don't care. So he walks through the dinner buffet with his big plate. And I watch him just go up to the chicken, which is covered in wine sauce. I'm like, okay, sure. Good selection. It's bacon wrapped chicken. It's delicious. Let's see what he wants. And then he goes over to the salad bar, dumps a bunch of salad on it. And then he goes to the dessert menu. And then, chat, I see this fucking alien being pour chocolate sauce on top of some iceberg lettuce.
You know, weirdly enough, I can kind of get down with this. I know where this story's going to go. I can't get down with it after a certain point, but up to this point, I think I can still kind of vibe with it.
Yes, at this point, I'm like, okay, weird, but this might be delicious. I might have to try this. So I watch him more, and he goes back to the salad bar and just puts on slices of cucumbers on top of that, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, cucumbers are mostly tasteless and basically are just 70% water. Maybe this is good. Maybe. Oh god, he's going back to the desert menu. Oh no, please. No. And this man just walks to the desert aisle again and pours vanilla sauce on top of all of this.
Not just the lettuce, the chicken as well, all right?
No. You see, the lettuce covers...
The chicken remains untouched?
No, the chicken was on top of a pile of iceberg lettuce. That iceberg lettuce got topped with chocolate cream. He then went and put fucking cucumber slices on top of that pile. And then he poured vanilla sauce on top of this pile. The pile was growing. The pile was ever expanding. I saw this layer cake of disappointment being built. And I saw that this man was not human, because I don't think a human could create this abomination. This is horrors beyond human comprehension, and they are not man-made. So at this point, I'm like transfixed in this titanic, this apocalyptic display of disgusting behavior. And then he goes back to the salad bar and pours more iceberg lettuce on top of this pile. And I'm like, sir, look at your plate. This is getting too big. And at this point, my colleague notices and asks, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, hey, watch this. Watch this person. Like, look at this shit. And she's like, wait, what is he doing? Like, what's... Did he pour vanilla sauce on top of cucumbers? And I'm like, oh god, you don't even know. So, he walks back to where he got the chicken from. And just pours more wine sauce on top of that lettuce.
Fun. Yes, this is Hell Hotel.
This is Hell Hotel. Yes, this is Chadwarden Dinkelstein. You know the story, my dear. You know the story. And you know how it ends, because he pours that fucking wine sauce on top of this monstrosity. Sees that his work is done. Smiles, which I can only remember as hauntingly because of just the way he grinned like you'd imagine a predator smiles when he knows that he's gonna get his little antelope when the lion is going to eat some gazelle. And he goes and he gets some potato bites, like some hash browns, I think you'd call it in America. Like little potato bites.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the context. Sometimes hash brown, sometimes tater tots. Depends on really how you cook them.
They like little round potato bits, basically.
Fuck. Yeah, we can call those hash browns, like the small ones.
Yeah. So he gets those small hash browns, sits down to his little corner, and I want to see if he eats now. I want to see if he commits. Because
you just want to make sure this man's not fucking with you.
I want to make sure that this man is not fucking with me. Because I don't want to be the fool here. I don't want to be the fool when I'm telling the story to somebody is being played by this man. So I walk up to him in the guise of seeing that he has enough liquid. Under the guise of, hey, do you want a beer? Do you want to get drunk? So I walk up, and to my shock and horror, I see that he has taken a bite out of every single layer.
I'm just like trying to put together like the taste here, because you got the savory with the chicken and the bacon. That's good, and then you can pair that with the lettuce. But then I guess again with the chocolate, that's fine. But then everything else, I'm just lost in what it even might taste like. I don't want to imagine the texture of this.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it because it is disgusting, frankly. I have thought about how it tastes for the next 2 years after this incident because I wanted to know what went on inside this man's head. And the only answer I can find to what went on in that man's mind was that he wanted the world to burn. That he was there to see the faults in humanity's safety systems, to see it was the whole chicken breast wrapped around in bacon and cooked in wine sauce, which frankly it was delicious.
On its own,
it was amazing. I ate it. I stole so much food from my old workplace, but combine all of those pieces together, and I wanted to puke then and there on the spot. He then asks me very annoyingly what I'm doing there, and I'm just like stumbling, trying to recover, trying to go. I'm here to make sure that everything's okay. Would you like another drink, sir? And he's like, no. I would like you to leave, please. I would like you to piss off, go and leave me to my meal.
Meal is a bit of a stretch word here.
Yeah, meal is putting in a lot of legwork here because, frankly, that was an abomination. And frankly, if there's one good explanation for what is going on in our modern day world, I think that aliens pulling the strings might honestly not be so far-fetched after seeing this man. Like, I know most conspiracy theories end with, oh, it's the Jews, but no, I think the world is
Jewish aliens.
It's the Jewish aliens, baby. The aliens are controlling everything, and they have such weird tastes. Good God.
Fuck. Was there anything more notable about this guy besides his abomination meal and being too rich for your money counter to comprehend?
That's the thing. After that day, I didn't see him anymore. His colleague was there, and he drank his ass off. He ordered a record of mojitos that was not beaten until like the last year at my job, which was 69, funnily enough. I wish I was shitting you, but alas, he drank a lot of mojitos. He also had to keep going to the toilet because, well, he drank 69 mojitos. That's a lot.
This man was committing tactical suicide after meeting his alien overlords.
Yeah, that's the only explanation I can find for that one, because, my god, I didn't see this man after that dinner at all.
Holding back now, living with you, just to